onto the sensory, and we just hit the power mark. That's cool. So the sensory is the final device on our list over here. And then we'll go into what happens next. So the sensory, here is my schematic for that. Okay, feature schematic. You have the logo right there. Okay, certified by yours truly. And all those doc drawings, by the way, were certified. Okay, so there's this. Now, there's this thing. Don't worry about this. There was a theory, and I don't know. If somebody were to watch this, you can comment and let me know what you think about this. But having the ability to merge both the dock and the smartphone and the tablet, so have an actual interface for the dock and the tablet as well as the smartphone, and actually array the processor so you have this massive supercomputer if you want to do that. I don't know why. You already have massive supercomputers if this processor works. So there's that. So front side is a touchscreen. These features, I'll list all these features that come around. Wow, okay. I'll list all these features around. There's all kinds of things. There's microphone. There's mini USB, which is also a charger. There's a physical camera button. There's a decrease and increase volume control with a physical. Power and screen button. There's a phone speaker as well as a front-facing camera. Hopefully that's an HD camera. Phone speaker. Headphone jack. Micro SD card reader. That's basically it. For the dock, and there's something that's with this that you don't have with the dock, at least, and maybe we'll have with the tablet. I'm not really sure, but it's the ability to change the cover. You might notice on the sides here. So this side, these two vertical sides right here, these can be changed, as well as the back cover over here. This can be changed as well. As far as color, the case. There isn't an actual case that goes over it. There could be. I haven't really decided yet, but I don't think there is. Because all this is nano reinforced, you're not going to need a case. And also on the insides of all the cases, regardless of the device, whether it's sensory, there is insulation, so all your components are safe. So you don't have to worry about things like breaking on the insides, hopefully, unless you like drop it from a building and hit concrete, bad things happen. You know, if you shatter the phone, you shatter the phone. But there is the ability to change the case, and I don't want the case on the outside just because there's a lot of connections on the outside, a lot of physical features on the outside. So I'm trying to create a case that has to work around all of that, and I don't want to deal with that. And plus, it looks ugly to me. So you notice there's these divots right here. So if you can kind of see that, I don't know. But that part is solid. The rest of it on the outside case, except the touchscreen, of course, can be changed. So the ends, the curved ends here can't be, but everything else can be. And the way you do that is when you open up the phone using the thumb tab just as you had before, that's able to pop off, and there's secondary thumb tabs on the insides. This also exists in the tablet, so that you can pop off. You have the back, and you can also pop off the sides, and they work in the exact same way. And then you can change it. You can buy different colors, whatever. Is the way that it will work. I should say you can now. You will be able to. But so the capabilities of the phone, a lot of them are the same. You have your HD webcam, you have your full edge-to-edge touchscreen using electro-printer sensors, perhaps with one of these. Of course, there are your physical controls that I already mentioned. The battery will be probably about a quarter of the device as well. There won't be a USB drive on this just because it's too big. There will be the micro SD, as I said. Phone speaker, SIM card reader, all of that. Outer-facing camera phone, as I have before, same thing. 720p HD video camera, 8 to 10 megapixel, still camera, of course, flash, all that. Accelerometer, gyroscopic sensors. There will be a small speaker, headphone jack. No need for a mic jack on this. So yeah, that is the sensor. I don't have interior schematics of these things, like what the actual configuration of like the motherboard and all that is. The reason I don't have those is simply because I don't have the knowledge in order to produce those at the moment. I'm actually thinking about taking apart my phone and figuring it out. So I'll do that later. That's something I'll eventually figure out. But it's there, you know. Um, the interior structure is basically you have all your switches, you have your processing units, and you have your secondary memory storages that I might have. I don't know. For the dock, I might have a secondary memory storage that is basically the same construction as a processor, but just stores memory. There will be of course, you have your motherboard, you have your various activators and controllers for your various different devices. There'll be a touchscreen, sensors, hopefully with Nanobees. I have an idea of how to do Nanobees with that, but I'm just not really sure if it will work. Once again, on that subject, what's next? The one reason I'm doing this is to save intellectual property, because in a few weeks, and actually a few days, I'll be making a call to talk to venture capitalists in the Denver area specifically. If I can go outside that, I will. They'll have to fly me out because I don't have the money to actually fly out there. They'll have I'll have a meeting with them, describe this technology. What I'm going to ask for is funding in order to research and develop these technologies, create Cullinane Technology, patent all of these technologies and all aspects of these technologies, as well as payroll research engineers, nano engineers, computer engineers, electrical engineers, and industrial engineers as well as programmers, to create these devices. There will be a new operating system that I'll have to create. I'm calling that Cube. I'm not going to release the exact details of that. I don't really need to. It's a supercomputing operating system, and it works with this. There's some components of that are rather specific, and it works very closely with that nanoprocessor. And I'll probably explain that maybe a later video. You know what? I'm doing it now. So the way that works, I have a schematic. Hold on. So I'm not really sure how to produce it actually, but so it is called Cube, CEWB. Yes, Cube. Now there's a couple things about this operating system that are special. One thing is the appearance is circular. Yeah, it's called Cube. It's a circular appearance. That's why the devices are circular in nature. That's why there's curved edges. Now there will be another Sensory phone or a Sensory phone. It'll be called a Sensory 2. It will be more circular. It looks a lot like a tablet, but a smartphone. That's a concept design. I haven't finished designing it fully. It'll probably be something I pitch to the PC around the way, but I just haven't had time to do that. I'll create a second video that patents that format patents that, which is what I'm doing. Format patent. Thing to look into if you're an average, if you're a born vendor like me. So one component is called intranet. So what this means is internal computer addressing system that work with every element of a program or the system. It works as an automated cloud that uses a compression ratio that automatically saves data both within a computer and inside the cloud. Produces a base for the FSI, which is full system integration. I'll get to that later. And data is saved in a single universal format. That universal format is what I'm talking about with the base code of my processor. It'll be saved automatically in the processor. That's memory bank B, memory bank C. The internet each internet has what's called an IC, an internet component. So anything that you want on a computer, if you open a tab in an internet browser, if you have a specific setting, you have whatever it is, those internet components, any given command within a line of code for every program, every component of any external device, all that is an IC. And those ICs, that's what a reference number is within the processor. So those ICs work with the internet. Now this creates the ability for a couple things. One of them is called full system integration, which is something that you might have noticed. There are technologies that are moving towards this kind of an idea, such as Siri with the Apple iPhone. Siri is going in the direction of FSI. FSI is a little bit more involved. It's the integration of every internet component, such that every part can work together. So essentially, you can have full system, like you can have compatibility with any program. So if you create, say, like I'm doing now, I have a webcam program on my computer. If I want to integrate that into a editing program, I can immediately do that. I can immediately take this and integrate it into um, editing program, all that kind of thing. So it allows you to really seamlessly integrate programs. You know, you want to create an internet tab in a document. So it creates a new tab in your document for a specific web address that opens in a specific file, and blah blah blah. You can produce that. Now, another thing that full system integration does is it allows the user's input, such based off of direct command or setting user prescribed or setting that the user prescribes in the system with which is executed using the internet building blocks. So essentially, this is what you can do. You can use say in your smartphone or your tablet or whatever. You just tell it to do something, and it will do it. Say you want to I don't know. It's manual interface. You know, like you want something I thought. I don't know why you would do this, but you want somebody when they turn on your computer. Okay, you give them a specific password to put to your computer. It's not necessarily a password you have, but right, you have a cube computer, and you say, okay, when it puts in jackc, when you type in jackc into the login page, okay, it comes up with it opens the thing and it starts a video, and you pre-recorded a video, and it begins that video. Now, is there any program in the entire world that would do that? Any app? There isn't an app for that. Okay, where you can have somebody type in the wrong password into your computer, not get access to the rest of your computer, but it starts a video that is specifically directed at them. So they open your computer and they type in this password and access this video message to you. Hey, perfect thing for a will, or if you're being chased by a bunch of bad guys. You know, in movies you see the secret agent guys. They always have a thing on their computer that says, if you're seeing this video, something bad has happened to you. Well, I've never been able to figure out how to do that on a computer. You know, it's like you have to give them a YouTube address. Okay, look up this YouTube video in order to do that. No. Now you can have them you can tell your computer, I want when somebody puts in this password, when somebody types in jackc into the password bar of my login page, that if you start the media player and play the video, the goodbye message to Jacob video for them, and then give them access to the entire computer, specifically the will document. You can literally tell that to the computer. It will interpret that data, input in the processor, go through the processor thing, and because they're ICs, it notices, okay, password this. Okay, because you look at the base code of a computer, you look at the coding in a computer, it says password equals blah, right? Well, the computer is able to do that. It's able to process that. Okay, or if you want it to be able to open a specific program as soon as you open the computer, it's like you turn on your computer. I always turn on my computer. I immediately start Chrome, and then I have Facebook and I have Google Docs already open. I can't tell Chrome to do that. I can't tell the computer to do that. As soon as I turn on the computer, start this program, because I've always had those programs open. And two, that processor D, that memory bank D, as that coprocessor is functioning, it's noticing every time I turn on the computer, I immediately open Chrome, then immediately open Facebook, then immediately open a new tab with Google Drive. Well, eventually, what will happen is it'll notice this. It'll say, when I turn on the computer, it'll recognize that command and be like, oh, add this. And so it'll automatically do that. What more intuitive is that? Okay. Now it'll also do that when you do that and you're minimize immediately. You keep minimizing it, or you can just tell it minimize every time you open this. It'll minimize. Okay, so that's the power of FSI. Okay, what that does is that allows for complete customization of every single component of your operating system. You want a specific icon to look a specific way on a specific place, you can do that. If you want to be able to access a program constantly and immediately, where it's always open but never up on the screen necessarily, or always in the background or something like that, you can do that. You have complete control over the system. Another component is circle based, as I said. So like, sorry, I'm trying to read my writing. Projects out from icons, right? So you have a menu, any menu like on a PC. You know, if it's not Windows 8, you have the start button, right? Where you have a similar button as perhaps in Cube. And when you open that, the menu, it just kind of projects around it, projects around an icon. But you also have a center part that you can also make text that works in the center, and also an FSI interface in the center. You're able to enlarge or decrease the circle as much as you want. With a tablet, this is designed for tablet. You have different functions that you can do with different numbers of touch. You have 9 fingers, so you have 9 different possible functions you can produce with all your fingers. You can dictate those functions. Those functions will be pre-dictated into the operating system, but you can change all that. If you wanted, you can make Cube, because of the customization, you can make Cube look like a PC, or you can make Cube look like a Mac. If you want. I don't know why you'd want to, because, well, it's Cube. But you can do that. You can completely be rid of the circle-based idea, circle-based look, and institute your own look if you want. You can make it triangle if you want. But that's the power of the customization. That's the power of the fact that you have an operating system. You just work with these ICs. You define the IC that you want. The other thing with Cube is that there will be specific programs. One will be creator, one is producer. Now, you know Microsoft Office, you know things, and that's what creator would do. Microsoft Office Suite has Word, it has Publisher, it has Excel, it's all these things, right? Well, each one of those programs, they don't really function within each other very well, but yet there's a word processor in Publisher, there's a word processor in Word, it is a word processor, and you have a word processor in Excel. You have the ability to produce spreadsheets in Word and Excel. You can copy and paste pictures into Word or Publisher, so you can do all these things. So my question is, why don't they just create more programs? Well, that's a creator. Creator is a single, intuitive program with Cube that you can do anything. You want to create something, you want to create a picture, you want to create a document, you want to create a PowerPoint, you want to create a spreadsheet, you want to create all 3 at once, you can do that with Creator. All the tools of all those other programs and more, all at your fingertips. Now there's a second program, Producer. Now this functions very nicely with Creator. That's what I'm talking about with the internet. So this is like Photoshop. This is any kind of audio video editor. Audacity has MIDI interface. Any kind of Avid that you have with like film editing. You have Final Cut. All of that, all of those kinds of programs, those are all melded into one. So if you want to produce a movie and you have a guy, but you have a girl and you want her skinnier. You want her skinnier. Well, you'll be able to just take one frame, take her as a 3D element, take her as a specific element, an IC, within that, change her contours as if you would in Photoshop, and then put her back in the movie, and throughout the entire rest of the movie, her image will be that Photoshop version. You won't have to go frame by frame to do it. I don't know why you would, but you don't have to, and you can do that. That's the capability you have with Producer. And so those 2 programs would be standard in the Cube operating system. Now,